we came from this bridge that some troops from the Danish military was building from a child, a part of a hospital where children were that should be connected to the big part of the hospital. The engineer regiments field bridge are going to stand with the Mary Elizabeth Hospital over the summer. The hospital will be finished in 2025. And Mary, of course, Mother Mary, a connection to something with mother. And it has to stand there in the summer. In the summer is the light time. And 2025 could be a symbolism for two rings, maybe mom and dad. And 25, I have searched once and remember it mentioned love. So it could be something with what comes out of two people's love. But another interesting thing in that little video here, a person, the prime lieutenant who was talking, look at his spear. Can you see it's the Dali shape spear? We know the woman who was stalked was named Dali, to the last name. So there we have a connection to the article also, and Dali. And I also found there was made jewels with this spear. I don't know if it's only finger rings or maybe it's bracelets. But they use it for jewels also. It seems to. But there were also those with the 5 rings. That were the 5 rings that I'm sure is connected to symbolize something with money. And when the war was started, the Danish government had a briefing where they were talking a little bit about it. The text here says, there are now war in Europe. It was the Prime Minister, Mette, who said it, Mette Frederiksen. But we see there are 4 persons, and they have a ring here in front, all of them. There we have 4 rings, but behind at the wall we have a big one, that is the 5th, where you cannot see it all, something is hidden. But could it be that it has something to do with money, this war? Like most other wars that seems to has been started because of money, it could look like this one is made and started because of the same. And the 4th is the military man. So if he symbolized the 4 rings, it's those who go out and kill, who know what is going on. Oh dear. But there were another video with Danish soldiers I found, also from the Danish military YouTube page. Here we have, they are in Estland, and actually they have been in Estland in some kind of a base since, I think it was 16. So that's not something new that the Danes are sending soldiers to Estland. So I assume they have practiced maybe what is going on now for some years. We have the symbolism for electricity and the waves from electronic devices. And the waves here are connected to the O, the ring. And the other paintings here. There we have something that maybe could look like the green leaves they use very often in their logos. And here it says ionized. Ionized. So there we have something with ionizing. Why not that? Could it be something with the matter drink? We saw the call for an uprising put this one up the other day, where a person took some tap water and put some electric devices into the water, and then he ionized it, and it suddenly became grumsy and very dirty. And we had the bottle with the oldest wine that looked very similar. But there has been a lot of talk about water. Many people think they, for many years, all our lives, have put something in the water that maybe was not so good for us. And I have been thinking a little bit about the water myself, that something was a little strange. I remember when I have made ice cube in my freezer, and if they have stand there for a long time and I have not used them, they become smaller and smaller and almost disappeared. And I'm thinking, what are that water made of? And there are more with water. Here is from a Danish newspaper, the Danish Prime Minister. And the headline says, "Tell us what you know." And she is drinking water. I think that's a hint to that she knows something with the water. I also found this one, The Water of Dream, Electric Guard. It seems too there could be something with water and the electricity in a body. And maybe that is the reason for the dreams we have, how the electricity is in a body. Here it says censorship prison. Yeah. But we also have this sorrow person, where this letter is connected to this person. He also make it on people's stomach. Here he is totally blind. You can say he has his hand for the public eye, and he has the family eyes closed, the private eyes. So he look like a blind person. He also have these buttons here up here. I don't know how many there are all the way around, but it could very well be something like 6, 7, 8, 9. But here also a lot of front pages of the movie. It could look like some electricity hits him in his head. The other day I was actually looking at my phone, looking at some very old SMS messages I had, and there were some for some of the persons I had met on dating site, and there were one of them who mentioned something about 1,000 kiss on the top of your head, and 100,000 kiss on the top of your head. As far as I remember, there were 6 zeros in the number he was written, and I was hit with some electricity first in my feet, and then it pressed me on my head for days. So now I think, could that person for many years back have given me some kind of warning that I would be hit in my head because of a certain number of rings in their game? I could have an imagination that it could have been that he could have been a gang stalker. But what says is more here about Sorrow? Defender of the working class. It is a 3-step process. Start off with a girl having sex with a guy while on her period. It is the Urban Dictionary. They make some very crazy translation of words, or very naughty ones I have seen. But they mention something with having sex in a period. That could be a hint for something with not being pregnant. And the working class, he defends the working class, so maybe that could be a hint to helping the working class by not being pregnant. But when I search the name and the meaning of this name, or I just write it, Sorrow, a lot of foxes come up. So there are language where Sorrow means fox. So there we have the 666 connection. Fox are said to be connected to 666 because F is the 6th letter, and no, it's the way the Hebrew put up their alphabet, where under the 6th, the line, they have 3 or 4 lines of the letters, and in the 6th line, F, O, X are standing at the top of each other. But there are also this sign we have seen some of the last day. It's some kind of the ESO Special Operation Detachment. It's some kind of group from Ukraine that use this, and it seems to they have had different kind of conflicts long way back in that country. So maybe it's some kind of a revolution group. The Little Mermaid also was painted here very short ago. And she really is an art targeted individual. She has been set up to so many things through the time she has been standing there in Copenhagen. She had got her head cut off 2 times, I think, and she had also been set up for being thrown red paintings on her and other things. There are many episodes where she has been victim for, I assume, some of the secret societies who send signals that way. I'm pretty sure each time it has happened, it has been symbolized for something. But I also saw almost the same sign here. When I search on something called the Elizabethinen. It's some nuns who are running some hospitals. And we know from the start of this video there were some soldiers in Denmark who were placing a bridge from something called Mary Elizabeth Hospital that has something to do with children, and connect that hospital to the big hospital in Denmark. So let's look a little bit into those Elizabethine nuns.